Hey there, Silver-Tongued Devil here, and I've arrived as a Hellsinger, as it would appear. So today we're going to be looking at Metal Hellsinger VR. This is the standalone version on the game, on Quest 3. I've been privileged enough to be provided with a key, courtesy of, so that we can give this one a look. Now, my plan is I'm going to put the volume up to maximum, play the game, give you an idea of the gameplay, how it works, then we'll come back and I'll discuss some things. My initial thoughts are gameplay great, port good, not ported by people that play VR, I don't think. This is very much a flat screen game that's had a little smattering of VR. Other than this glorious lobby, though, the lobby is actually quite good and you have to push and test and touch everything. But let's pump that music up. I'll try and keep quiet. I know you guys have been asking for a stream like this, so I'll put the volume up to maximum. I'll see you on the other side.
The first hell was Vogue, full of cold and ice and despair. Unknown didn't care, though. She had her own plan. Crystal. Good for them. Cambion starts the murder parade. To the core. Eternal winter has come. The veil will ruin this bottomless domain. Dead tombs and frozen down. Demons collide. In sin they rally without cause. Dissonance they flagellate the place. Chaos unbound. Crystal nearby somewhere. That mess up, lickety-split. Behemoth came crashing down. Nightmare City. Archdevil gave me knowledge of myself. My ultimate, I guess you could say. Going good. Call me a pessimist because I had a bad feeling about what was coming.
I know you, unknown.
So that gives you a pretty good idea of what this game's about, I think. That was just shotgun because it's the easiest weapon to use. Oh, there you go. I can chat to you during chat scenes. Chat scenes. I've changed the music because I like System. This is Surge. Oh, you will. I fucking guarantee it. So, that should give you, hopefully, a pretty good idea of what this game's about. See how I did on the old leaderboard. Now, so the one thing that I will say is, if you took out the audio and the various bits and pieces of this game, you'd have a reasonably average, I would say, shooter. It's pretty good, but I'm used to things like Hellsweeper and the level of depth and intricacy and the various bits and pieces that that game has going. So, hello Fourth Wall. So, couple of things straight off the bat. Part of the reason why I didn't select a lot of different weapons is, to be fair, The shotgun's pretty bloody good. There is a crossbow as well, which is good. I find that the throwing weapons in this game don't really work as well as I'd like them to. My throwing in VR is questionable at times, but it's more to do with the release, because they've put the buttons on triggers to release. The problem with that is I'm used to holding grip to grip things. I don't mind floating hands. If that's what they've got to do, then that's what they've got to do. I don't mind floating hands at all. But one of my big qualms with this game was that, I don't know about a lot of you, but I grip to hold things, and when I let go of grip, those things would drop. That's how I've always played VR games. That's how a lot of VR games are set up as default. And I know some people do the press to hold side of things. And even in games where you don't have to hold grip, they usually don't make the mistake of putting other things on the grip buttons. Whereas in this game, all of that I know from, like, I hold grip down in Death Unchained when I'm holding the bow to make me feel like I'm holding the bow. The problem in this game is you can do that, you can hold the buttons down, but it then kind of interferes with like your special moves and various bits and pieces. So they've assigned things to the grip buttons, and I am not a fan of that, it must be said. And then when you then get onto throwing weapons, because the grip buttons aren't holding onto them, throwing all of a sudden becomes this issue that you do with triggers, and it just seems a very strange thing to put into this sort of game. So the other thing as well, and I'll catch up with the comments in a bit, the other thing as well is songs wise. So all the songs are glorious, and it is nice to know. I don't have any that I don't like, if I'm honest. And it is nice to know that I can put any of the songs in the game to any of the levels in the game. However, this is basically the boss battle. That's the final level. So we have 1, 2, 3. I mean, there's a bit of level to it as well. Even if we account it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus a tutorial. So there's only 8 levels. Granted, there are 4 options of difficulty on each of them. And in addition to that, you have challenges. And these challenges, I would recommend you get done before you even think about looking at leaderboards, because these are just advantages that are given to you as you play. You can only equip 2 of them, and you want to get them up to maximum level. Hello, Scatman. So, oh, and hello. Sorry, I better say hello to everyone who's come in. Hello, Beavis. Hello, Scat. Hello, Sim. Yep, that's probably everybody. Yeah, that'll be everybody. Yeah, so I don't think the people who've ported this across, it doesn't feel like they've got a massive experience with VR games. That whole grip to hold, I get that, you know, there's enough to do in this game and they've had to use some of the buttons, but I don't know, man, the gesture system from Hellsweeper in this would have been fucking brilliant, so that you could let go of your weapon and then press and gesture to summon the next one. That would have been great for this, but no. So the other thing to note, these are basically mini arenas and challenges within them. They're all well and good, but once you've completed them and got the things that are associated with those challenges, there's no leaderboards with them, and you've kind of got no reason to go back to them. So, hello Weebs, and hello Beanie, fucking hell. Beanie's not going to like this one. This isn't that smooth jazz and R&B that Beanie likes. Right. I'll pop the volume back up and we'll put another level on. I am going to stick to the same weapons. I mean, we could try the crossbow, but you won't really be able to see what's going on because it's an explosive crossbow. So, yeah, and from what I've seen as well, the bow that is in this game doesn't look like it has been implemented fantastically. However, $3.90. It's like £3.50 to buy the bow. £5 to buy that. It does come with tunes and it does come with some cosmetics, but I ain't spending money yet. And as I said, my problem with this so far is it's a little bit short on content for a game that's at $24.99. Even I do have a 15% off in the description. Even at 15% off, now there's a lot of stuff that has been done in an update from the actual game. Why they didn't hold out to make sure that all of that was in this game, I don't know. I still get the impression that devs don't think first impressions matter, and that's bad. If a game does well and then they add at the start because it's good and then they add to it, happy days. If a game is great but is light on content, what will happen is people will play it quite a lot and they might get a few decent amount of sales, and then everyone will forget about it and might not even go back for the update because they know it was short on content. I don't know. It's always a concern of mine. I think so too. Let's go visit Stygia. This one is a very good track. This will be the one that Poise will like, guaranteed. You get those classical sounding lady lyrics and maybe a little bit of Cookie Monster. Little Cookie Monster metal shouting going on in the background.
I remember this place like it was yesterday. Wish I didn't.
I'll talk about the cutscenes later. Still got my setup? Good.
souls here makes a kind of electricity. imagine it, maybe.
More damage and more point sweeps. If the music is wailing at you, as this one is, I'm at maximum. Now it's gone down a little bit in tempo, because I've dropped part of my combo level. So let's get that back.
Judge's second aspect just waiting for us. The Judge was an awful sore loser.
Right, let's do it, boss, and then I'll actually chat with you lot of some more. As I hear Resol come in. Hello, Resol, and hello to anyone else for joining.
The second time unknown. That is unwise, and it will be your undoing.
To this lifeless paradise in disguise.
So yeah, hey Resolve. There we go. Right, so, and this is part of the reason why I'm going to do it this way, because the music does carry this game a lot. I think someone said, like, it's a pretty average shooter. It is a very fast-paced game. So, and I've been quite well prepared for this experience from basically Hellsweeper. And there are a few things, though. Another one of them, I know cutscenes are important in games to developers for story building, but the problem with the cutscenes in this is you just want to get on. You just want to play the game. The music's pumping and you're forced to sit there and watch a scene. We're in VR. We don't need to be looking on the outside in. Half the time you spawn in and I don't know where I'm supposed to be fucking looking, because it's like right, there's an important part of story going on here. It's like, yeah, cool, right, where the fuck's it going? Now that might be something that they can tweak. I would rather it either be played on a TV in front of me, which is kind of how they do it when things are happening, or just, I don't know, have me flying or walking or doing something along those lines. With, you know, the cutscenes at the portal are fine. It's the ones afterwards, and they happen quite often enough. Like, I want to transition straight into the boss to go straight into the level, into the boss. Yeah, the cutscenes in the portal are great, but the cutscenes in the game, I mean, I'm not saying you can't have them in, but come on, we're in VR. Do a little something different with them. It's like, yeah, anyway. So the other one as well, and this is a complaint that I see here from everybody, all of, hurry up, let me fight, indeed, all of the bosses up until the end boss are pretty much the same design. I mean, I feel like we should have a little bit of different design. Thing is, all the rest of the enemies are quite varied and look awesome. One of the other things that I was happy to see as well is on the Archdevil difficulty, I haven't tried Beast, but might be, on the Archdevil difficulty, there are some new enemies. I've definitely seen what looks like a, if anyone knows their angel lore, what would be either a Dominion or a Seraphim. I don't quite know what they... Oh, actually, hang on. Let's see what they call it. Again, lots and lots of books. There's a reason... That's actually another very good one to mention there. There's a reason why you haven't seen me using the sword, and I don't plan on using the sword. That is... Okay, they've almost got it. An Annihilator Seraph. That guy's hard, and he's just a standard enemy. I think he might be the only additional... he's classed as an elite as well. That's why he's a disgustingly hard... Cool, well, at least they've got the lore right. So, yeah. Seraph, Seraphim, Dominion, they're all a bit of a muchness. Big fuck off, nasty, high-ranking angels. So, but again, I don't want to spoil the story too much. The problem with the sword in this is the same problem that all VR games suffer from with swordplay that don't quite have it right. Hellsweeper, you all know how much I love Hellsweeper, and even I very rarely use the hand. In fact, I don't do runs with hand-to-hand combat weapons because the system doesn't suit hand-to-hand. There's only a handful of games that I think get swordplay right. One of them is Broken Edge because of just the way that it works. One swing is enough to end it, and so you don't get any of this faffing about. Dungeons of Eternity actually is another one. They get swordplay right as well, but they kind of have to because it's a big part of the game. And the other one is, of course, Until You Fall has swordplay, in my opinion, down to an absolutely fucking fine art. And it's sad that that hasn't come back into VR games, because that's one of the best swordplay games that makes you feel like a badass, as opposed to moving around and getting it wrong and not. Like, I don't want to be necessarily locked, but there've been times it would be nice if I did zip in and did a bit. You will have seen me doing those like insta kills, and they're just a button press. If you time it, you can actually reload off of that as well. Blade and Sorcery I haven't played, and Blade and Sorcery, yeah, I can't comment on Blade and Sorcery because it's not. I'm not into. I've learned what I like and what I don't like, and I'm not a fan of like sandbox games. Now I know that it is evolved a little bit from a sandbox game, but we haven't got that on the Quest. As soon as it's got that campaign and there's a little bit more to it, and I've got objectives and things to do, as opposed to go into there and make your own fun. I'm too old to waste time trying to create my own fun. I don't know what I want. Give me the fun. So is basically it. I believe I had it wrong as well. I think it's this one that Poise is gonna like. No. Oh no, it was Stygia. How come she wasn't singing? Maybe it is. Well, okay, well, this one's my favourite one. I'll turn the music back up in a minute. But yeah, bosses all being kind of much of a muchness. And what else? Nice one. Cheers, boys. Are you actually going on, Hellsinger? No worries. You damn kids with your fun. You damn kids with your fun. Yeah, she does, but she wasn't. I don't think she was singing in that one. I thought she. Well, to be fair, the one that I know that has got the really cool, strong ones, I thought it was Stygia, but it must be Helm, because I had that 16 times pretty much the entire way through the game, so. But yeah, as I said, I do like the fact that we can change the tracks to the different levels. That's a nice feature. And it is also nice. I'll restore everything to its original, though. Maybe the Alyssa one was at the boss. So let me restore everything so that, because I really like this seems to be a bit. Yeah, I really like No Tomorrow with Surge from System of a Down in, but you know, I don't want to bore you, so we'll restore the defaults. So there's a different track per boss, and they scale, and then there's a different track in each of the levels as well. But then you can put the originals on and the DLCs. As I said, the DLC tracks might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure all of them are not this layered thing that makes it special, that you want to do well in because you want the vocals screaming at you. So, but, and yeah, the sword, what I found so far is the sword only detects from the wrist, and so you are rewarded for going, that's not swordplay, that's something else, isn't it? It's not swordplay. So the swordplays are not very good on this, but I suppose at the very least, once you've done the tutorial on it, you can fucking ignore it. The other problem that I have with this as well, and it's the reason why you can two-hand things, and there's actually a reason to do it as well with some of the weapons. The skull, the Pez dispenser, or Pez, the guy who's doing the Western commentary. Can't remember the name now. Tony something. Same guy who voiced. Oh, fucking forgotten it now. Last of Us. So, but yeah, the swords, I don't know, I can do things to the beat. I've played Beat Saber enough to do things to a beat, and yeah, just it doesn't work, and half of the time it ignores your slices as well. But it seems to be fine if you go. The beat is on the hit. So sorry. I think on the sword it's on the hit. I think on all of the weaponry it's the trigger pull. So, like for instance, it's the button press when you do the finishing move. There's a couple of things that I've done as well to try and make this as good a viewing as experience as possible. I've moved. You see here, nope, not that one. There it is. What I've done, because I've seen a lot of people complain about it, and I kind of didn't like it to begin with as well. I've got rid of all of the stuff that comes up around enemies when you're ready to press A on them and execute them. There's a lot of shit on screen if you don't turn it off. Them glowing is enough. I remember that from such games as Dead Hook. So them glowing is enough. You can also turn the opacity down. The other thing you'll see that I've done is I've changed the reticle so that it is central beat. That's why I always have those chevrons in front of me. You don't have to have it that way. I've just found that I can appreciate and look around a little bit more whilst keeping the time in, whilst those are in my peripheries. I'm getting to the point where I might not need them, but it's always nice to have them so that when you get taken out of beat, which enemies try to do, you can get back on it. Anyway, that's enough. More music. More music, maestro! I think I'm being really good, actually. This is the silent stream that you all asked for, pretty much. I mean, in comparison to how much I usually go on.
Yeah, demons were waiting on us in Yelm, our next port of call, but at least at the start. Dead quiet. Well, the smart money is probably not on us, but who don't love an underdog? First of Yelm's Death Garden, as I recall.
Yeah, with weapon switching absolutely sucks in this. Wobbles out, puking acid, or worse.
only statues left standing in the cathedral. Truth is, I still can't set foot in a church. Not because I'm not allowed, just because, well, I'm a skull. I guess it's not quite a cathedral, more like a church fort. Nothing like an endless stare to really hammer home that hell has no elevators. Second death garden, and hopefully other folk are gonna be doing the dying. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want answers too, after that flash I saw. Was just hoping I'd get them before the unknown shanked all.
I'm a
the hell
very big fan of timing your dash to the beat to be able to do it infinitely. It's nothing quite like it. That's very cool. Wrong button though. Where am I supposed to be fucking looking? Oh, this way. Okay. Stupid cutscenes. I just want to kill it.
Do what you will. I apologize. You will see.
Oh, haven't killed you before. We go. Easy. I mean, I am only playing it on normal. Archenemy is a nightmare, but I'm kind of capable. That's becoming a nightmare. And back. Might have been, hang on, might have been cool if it wasn't just grey blobs. Be on the switching also adds to the beat. Yeah, I've seen that weapon switching also adds to the beat, so it's one of my biggest gripes with weapon switching. As long as at the beginning of a stage, that's actually my best score yet. Yeah, not bad. I'm not even properly playing for score yet, but one of the gripes that I have is switching weapon is done by holding down the right stick and then moving your control pad up, left, right or down. Now anybody who plays a VR game knows that whilst you're doing that, well, that's the same button that does your snap turn. I don't use snap turn, so I'd be happy with turning it off and making that dedicated to switching weapons. Again, no option for it, and it just makes switching weapon an absolute nightmare because I don't know if any of you have tried using right thumbstick for pretty much anything when you're in the heat of, I was going to say passion, when you're in the heat of the moment. using right thumbstick for anything is just a nightmare. Thankfully, if you set one weapon and then set another at the beginning of your play session, you can click right stick to switch between them. But because it's not intuitive and there's the possibility that you'll fuck yourself up, I don't do it. I just use the shotgun for the level and then the pistols for the boss. And to be fair, I think that is the most efficient way to do things, because timing is time bonuses. There's a speed bonus. My hit streaks aren't so good, my kills on beat aren't so good, my beats matched are alright. Damage taken is another element of the scoring side of things. So for those of you who like to chase the leaderboard, this one, I mean, we're only on the normal leaderboard, so it doesn't really matter at the moment, but we'll just see where we are. Oh, there we go, top 10. Maybe I'll try. But I suppose my problem with this game is that just when you start getting into it and it all starts coming together, it was fucking over. You're done. That, like, you've played all the levels. Yes, you can up the difficulty, but you're still then just replaying the same levels, and there's only one different enemy that comes into them. Yes, they are more numerous. Yes, it is all harder and more difficult to do. But, like, you know, I've been playing... How long we've been streaming for? I've been streaming for an hour, and we've already covered almost half of the game in levels. Now, as I said, I've got that one next. I've done a little bit of work on the challenges to make sure that I've got the two icons that I want to use. I think they're called sigils. Sigils, the two sigils that I like to use. And so one of them is your fury can never drop below 4 times, and when you enter it starts off at 16 times, which is the maximum for scoring purposes. And the other one is I can take damage or hit off beat 4 times during a streak. I know that this is basically training wheels, but I'll be honest with you, none of those are impactful enough to me to change, I don't think. And so again, it's another one of those games where it's like, I mean, again, I can't say this for certain because I haven't played it enough yet, but it's another one of those games where it's like there's only 2 real viable choices as far as this is concerned. Not for completing the game, but for scoring purposes, because if you don't get hit, you keep your combo going longer, and so you score more. And if your fury starts at 16 and you can maintain that, then you are scoring maximum all the way through the game. The other ones are like increase your ultimate faster. Okay, well, that's not too bad, but if you're doing well, your fury and your ultimate bar go up pretty fast anyway. And in addition to that as well, some of these other ones are like, when you are low on damage, you do more damage. Well, if we're taking damage, we're losing points, so we don't want to be taking damage. So again, it falls into that trap that so many of these games fall into, is there is a meta and there is a specific way to play it, and it just stops there being any kind of variety in build. Not that that's a problem, because you're only really going to do that if you're pushing leaderboards. One of the things that I will say, and I'll emphasize on again, is if you are a leaderboard pusher, make sure you get 2 of those, 2 level 3 that you think you are that are useful to you. Try and unlock all of them first so you can have a look through them, because again, another thing, I can't pick that up and see what it does. I have to equip it, and then I have to like remember the symbols, and it's a fucking pain in the ass. But again, like, I should be able to look at the back of that and it tell me what it does. Simple little VR things, if you ask me, but I don't know. Again, somebody's ported this. I get the impression that either they don't play a lot of VR games. I can't imagine someone being able to port a game who doesn't have any experience in VR, but there's a lot of things here that even and I am no professional games tester. I'm not even a proper games tester. There are a lot of little things here that are UI stuff, and I just figured that they haven't been picked up on. Has some love and attention gone into this? Yes, but there's some areas, man, where it's like, I don't know, I got to question it a little bit. Anyway, let's see where some more of your money's going for. And yeah, the weapon system one, if I had the ability to turn snap turn, or if I had that as smooth turn, the ability to turn that off, then happy days. But I don't have the ability to turn that off. I definitely praise the developers for all of these things. Like, as I said, you may see... Hello, Ray. I mean, I've played a lot, but again, it's not my profession. It's not my job. So, I mean, pay me to do it. Maybe I'll look into it. But yeah, I try and help out in betas where I can. Betas. But for a game that has all of the options, like one of the ones that I've done is... can I show it off in here? I think I can. Pej, come here. There is another big one as well that I'll go into. But normally with any weapon that is aimable, when you point it, you get a reticule in front of you, and that reticule also has your timing on it. I find that distracts me more than anything else, and I just need the metronome thing. And my aim's alright in VR. One of the other things to note as well, though, part of the reason why I turned it off, it doesn't matter if you miss your shots, it only matters if you do them off beat. So there is, in essence, no accuracy stat in this, or if there is, it's, you know, it doesn't matter. So for those of you who are not accurate, just like me, then you can happily turn it off. And I just found there's enough going on the HUD without all of that shit, and I can... The things are quite spot on for aiming. One thing that I do find is all the bullets in this are fucking huge. So, and the shotgun has that wide spread, so you get a little bit of grace with your targeting, so to speak. What was the other one? The other big one. There are specific... yes, there are vignettes. Hang on. If I don't say it before I go back in... hello, Warner. Sorry, that didn't say anything to you when you came in. Welcome to the stream. It's what VR players have to usually put up with to begin with. Games just don't work straight away that often. Ports are just the PC version brought across and then a smattering of things added to it. Like, this has all been added and this is great, but the problem with VR is it feels clunky if they don't do all the little things, and the problem is the little things are not accolades. They don't get praise. It's just the sort of things that you notice when you come into the game. Like, for instance, I can't pick that up, yet it's within reach of me. Now, I understand that I can touch it. That I praise. I can touch it and it changes the thing. But I don't know, it'd just be nice to pick them up, wouldn't it? But... and then they just return. I can pick the books up, and then this is the thing, is like... The clunkiness comes a lot down to the controls, and it also makes some weapons, like I found that, I mean, it's usable, but it's not great, and I found the sword complete bullshit, if I'm honest. But there's another big problem with this as well. You can two-hand some of the weapons. Some of the weapons... yeah, no pick, only touch. Some of the weapons you can two-hand in this game. I want to two-hand the shotgun. The problem is, if I hold both grips, as soon as I get my special, it fires it off. Now, that's a me thing because of how ingrained grip to hold is on me. I know some people use toggle hold, you bloody heathens. I like to actually hold the thing because it makes me feel like a real boy in VR, that I'm actually holding something. That I can understand, but they could have put the special on a different button. I think there's enough buttons. Just don't use the sticks. They are shit for this sort of thing. The other one as well is when you are two-handing a weapon, and this one is unforgivable. I don't even see how this got past the quality assurance team, and why I think that games testers is a dying breed and they use people like us and we don't catch everything. I don't know. I didn't even try to get into the debate with this one, but when you two-hand a weapon, if you slam into an enemy because they are in that weakened state and you can do the execution on it, it automatically, whether you continue to hold it or not, disassociates your hand from the weapon. That is very important with something like the shotgun, where you want two hands on it and then it just takes your hand off. It's not gameplay breaking, it's more immersion breaking with the shotgun. With Pez dispenser here, the skull, you'll note that you can hook up the skull like a pistol, and you hold it with both hands. When you hold it with both hands, it is better in that you can do the charge shot with it. I'll maybe demonstrate in a thing, but if I'm holding both hands and then do the execution, when I come back I'll be like that. So and still holding, I'll be like that basically, still holding grip, but it's let go of the skull. And the problem with that is one-handed this just fires normal shots. If you two-hand it, you can hold the trigger and let go, and it does like it's like Shang Tsung's skull. It fires 3 fireballs as opposed to 1. Back, forward, low punch. And it fires 3 instead of 1 when you grip it with 2 hands. Having to constantly remember to let go and re-hold again. And again, you could say, oh, well, this is a me problem. But I don't know, man. Does anybody else insist on grip toggle? I'm pretty sure everybody is grip to hold. Like when I play Beat Saber, that isn't a grip to hold game, but I hold them down because I have a feeling of actually having control of the sabers then. Pistol Whip, these are rhythm games I am mentioning as well. Pistol Whip is not a hold to have your weapons. They can do that anyway. But when I've got guns in my hands, I hold them down like I would be doing. And as I said, the big problem is it then means to throw these, you don't need to use hold because that's where all the specials are. You need to hold trigger and then let go when you throw. And it's very inconsistent. I was watching somebody on the Twitter doing it, and they were basically like, yeah, it's a bit of a skill gap, skill issue thing. These weapons are the best, these are the bad boys. And I was watching him playing, and every now and again his were misthrowing as well. And so one of the things that I then went and changed the controls so that grip was trigger and trigger was grip. You can do that in the settings. I tried them out and they were a little bit better, but there's still something a little bit sticky with them, still a little bit dodgy. So yeah, and they've exactly up, and they've kind of led with this, and it seems a bit strange. Anyway, enough of the complaining. As I suppose, if you take nothing more from this, there are a lot of good points with this game. It is very fun. It is very enjoyable when that music is kicking off and you are in the depths of things. Fucking fantastic. I've had to put time into this to get there, and some of that is because I am being held back by the controllers. And oh, that's behaving now. Interesting. Huh. And as some of you know, part of the reason why I moved across from flat screen gaming and controller and mouse and keyboard is because A, wanted VR, and B, I quickly found when I was starting to play VR that it's things like controllers and mouse and keyboard stuff that have actually held me back. You can do a lot with them, but I can do a lot more. Any movement that you see me doing here, but I'm not tethered. I don't have the umbilical cord like our friends on PSVR 2, and for those who can play PC VR and have to have it tethered. And if I wanted that, I'd still be on PSVR 1. I do not want that. I want what I have, complete freedom of movement, so I can turn and spin and do it all in real life, make me feel more like a real boy. Like little things like that. That's the sort of shit that I'm talking about in this sort of game. This shows that somebody has thought to do the little things. Does this have any effect on the gameplay? No. Is it cool as fuck? Yes. If it wasn't there, would it be expected? I don't know. But the fact that it is, yeah, otherwise you'll spin. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Woo. So yeah, right, let's have a look at some more. And yeah, so incredibly fun, really good when you get into it. There are leaderboards to chase if you want to extend it, but that's only ever going to be artificially expending the time with the game. This one is $24.99, even with the 15% discount that you can get using various friend codes. I've got one in the description. Still, I don't know, still a bit much. And there's also DLC for 2 weapons, which, yeah, I don't know, launching with DLC, I think at $24.99, this game should have included everything, if you ask me, and then it would have been a better value proposition. It isn't just the songs. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4 weapons, plus the skull, plus the sword. And yes, I'm well aware, Vega. I used to do that. I still, when I go and play Contractors, do that to change the buttons around so they're the right fucking way around. Nobody has fucking eject magazine on X. And yeah, anyway. That one, for me, is unusable. Or not unusable, it's just nowhere near as good. This one feels... I mean, it's probably one of the better weapons, actually. I'll probably give that a run out, but it's just a lot of explosions, and I'm hoping that you guys can see some of what's going on when I'm playing, so I'm trying to stay away from the crossbow. I do like the crossbow. The sword is completely, I'd say, unusable because of how it works. Oh, that was something I was going to try. No, you can't. The sword is kind of unusable how it works. It hasn't been programmed into this properly, and even if it had been, it wouldn't be very good anyway. The skull, what I was saying about that two-handed thing, and it detethering your second hand when you execute, well, you can play the game without executing people, but this is designed to be the weak firing thing that can keep the beat going for you for free. You don't have to reload it. Maybe I'll show you a little bit of what I'm talking about, just in case there's any devs watching or people don't understand. There is a reason to go back through the levels on each of the difficulties as well, because there are things to find which then levels up this bar, which gives you additional skins. The skins are black and gold. Like, that's what Pez normally looks like, and that's cool, but come on now. That's so much better. Black and gold. I do like a bit of black and gold. Very good colours. I don't know if you can play it with a controller, but then here's the thing, Op. If I wanted to play it with a controller, you know, you know how that sentence finishes, Op, just as well as anybody, mate. So, right. Let's go and have a look at this one. And I'll try and use the skull a little bit to try and show you off, and I'll throw my hands in the air every time it happens. In disgust, although you won't. Oh shit, I didn't put the music back up. Hang on. Putting the music back up is as much for me as it is for you guys.
Didn't work, so it was back to the old drawing board for the judge.
Yep. I don't think, and I can't change volume levels from here in a game that relies heavily on music. Come on now. I suppose the only reason why I'm being hypercritical of this game is it's expensive, so I expect more. The devs probably don't think it's expensive, but this is $24.99 on the Steam version, and VR games do not command the same sort of price. I suppose one of my issues with this is it's not a tech demo, but I don't know, content-wise, it's only just past the level of tech demo, if that makes sense. If they'd have given us the DLC, or brought the price down, or given us the update that the PC version has, I'd have to make a rethink here, because as I said, that's got like a horde roguelike mode, and you know how much I like those, and if they're done well, it's like infinite gameplay. It is technically only arenas, but still, the combat is a very cool part of this game. The level exploration and doing all that, it's all well and good, but I just want a sleigh whilst fucking headbanging. Is that too much to ask? I don't think it is. I could pause it and talk. Yeah, maybe I will do. Maybe I'll try and do that now that you've listened. But yeah, I'll try and use Pez, which is the skull, which is very good for keeping your combos and your combos high, because it's unlimited ammunition. It keeps on firing fireballs, and if you can time them, you can keep your combos going. It's also very weak, so you're more likely to get enemies into that finish them state, and that's what you want. The problem with it, though, is that, as I said, its most powerful form, which you kind of need for the thing that's weak, is when you hold it with both hands, and every time you smash into an enemy and execute them, it detethers your hand even though you haven't let go of the button. So, yeah, a bit shit. I should be able to select my weaponry now as well.
Spears didn't work.
Yeah.
Drawing board for the judge.
I won't worry too much about score here. Hopefully you can see there, single fireballs, and then if you hold and then release on the next note, you get a triple fireball, which then ups the damage for a weak weapon, which is good because it can get your hit streak up stupid. And as I'm just firing it along, it's keeping my streak up. So Pez is actually a really good weapon. The thing that I don't like, hopefully I'll be able to show now. And it really pisses me off. As you can see, it's really fucking annoying because Pez is a good weapon and I can't experiment with it as much. Now you could say, yeah, it's a skill issue. It's fucking not. There is no way that that is intended. The reason why it happens is because when you do the execute, your sword flashes up in your hand and you can two-hand the sword, but your hand would be in a different position. So, it's really annoying. Hey, it's okay, Kim. You're here now, and that's what matters. I know I spoke to you initially and said, but I've played it some, and I know, right? Hey, look, we'll get back there. Anyway, so I've demonstrated that concept. Now let's play the level. I should restart, actually, because I want to play it properly, and I should be able to score reasonably well, so... Let's restart, and I'll put some real weapons on that actually kind of work. You have to one-hand the shotgun in this as well, for the same reason. I don't know if I would two-hand the shotgun now, but... And yeah, cheers K2. Thank you for your vote of confidence. I've been really quiet.
Didn't work. So it was back to the old drawing board for the judge.
Oh look, K2's in, so's the droll fucking Texan accent. Ugh. In-game, ha!
Wonder how it would have went if Ritual had succeeded. darker magic. Hell knew they had a problem, what with us being this far into their end zone. Down, 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 deep into the mines. Shame that whole army got turned to ash. Tangle with the bull, you're gonna get the horns. I'd seen this before too. It's hard to remember. Kept thinking about that losing what we love thing.
Secret there.
Now I'm sure you could guess who was at the top of that pyramid.
Wouldn't be one of mine if I didn't point out where all the secret shit was. Ah, that's where I'm supposed to be looking, is it? Or there? Oh, there.
Look upon him, calls to something. What have you done? This cannot continue. Your song must end here. Beware the infernal flame. Burn for your sin. That's not going to be enough, Hunter. I'm afraid you will need much more heat than that to burn me. Your evil ends here. There's no way the prophecy will come true.
Can turn the music down now. Just a little bit. So I'm gonna... Fuck. There we go. Hey, not bad. Which one's that one? Castius. Castius. So yeah, I am a little bit of a leaderboard whore when it comes to like skill-based stuff and various bits and pieces. Hey, not bad. Maybe I should try it this. But these, again, these are only the GOAT. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, K2. Lamb, GOAT, but Devil better than GOAT. Just saying. Just saying. Where's the fish? I'm sure fish should be after Archdevil. Maybe. So, but yeah, I'm only playing it on GOAT difficulty. So again, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get the techer. So overall, though, I do like it. I don't know. It's one of those games that worries me in that It's very, very front heavy in regards of the fact that you play this and you're like, oh my fucking god, I didn't know I needed this, but I need this. And then the longer you play it, the more you find out that it is a bit lacking in the content side of things. And that's if you can get over some of the controls. I'm having to play this in a very specific way to get over the fact that, like, the sword doesn't work. Two-handing weapons doesn't really work. That then makes the skull really difficult to use. I have to remember to let go of grip and press grip again. And I'm sure someone will be like, ah, well, dummy, you're not supposed to be holding the grip buttons down. Yeah, I get that, but I've held the grip buttons down and had the options to change that on and off in every fucking game in VR I've played so far. I thought it was a staple thing. Now, I get that they're obviously having to make some sort of compromise and they've got to put the buttons somewhere, but I mean, like, for instance, the B button doesn't do anything in this game, and the Y button does a 180 turn. I don't need a 180 turn. I don't need snap turn. So, for me, at least, you could have had weapon switch on B, and even if it went through all of my weapons, I could do that to the B, which actually counts towards your stuff. Pressing and holding a button and then moving my hand is difficult when you're in the midst of things, at the very least, which is why a lot of the time I go through the level just using the one gun. And yeah, so then all of a sudden you kind of like, because I can switch before a boss easily enough before I start comboing, I find myself basically using the shotgun and the pistols. And so the problem therein lies that I'm not really using the crossbow, which I could, and yeah, I keep talking about the crossbow. Let's use the crossbow instead of the shotgun. I'm still going to use these for the boss because they are just fucking huge damaging. Unlike the flat version, from what I've seen, you can fire them both at the same time so that you can expend the bullets very fast and do a shit ton of damage with them. Shotgun's obviously just easy to use. That is a fucking nightmare at the best of times. So I'm not even going to take it in now. And again, how long have been... Now, do note that I've put a decent amount of time into this, so I am kind of smashing through everything, but I'll be honest with you, before I'd put the hours in, I didn't die on any bosses, and the only time that I had to use... And you actually get respawns, you get 3 of them, and it only affects your score. So, and you don't need to worry about that on your first playthrough. But I only used my respawns on the end boss, and I only had to use 1 of them, and I know, again, I've got it in normal, and I've played it in Archdevil, and I've got my ass handed to me a couple of times, and then I got a bit better, and now it seems to be okay again. It's one of those things, is the better you do in the game, the more overpowered you become, and I would wager that because I can play it well on GOAT, that I'll be able to beat Archdevil. I've tried the first level and there was some tough bits, but nothing major. You just have to use a little bit more than what's at your disposal to win well. So yeah, another thing that I am not a fan of as well, because there's leaderboards, and I don't know if it changes anything or not, so I might have to take this statement back. That is our skin to begin with. This seems a bit counterintuitive. Why it's all the way up there when it's out of... Because that's like out of eye line. I didn't even fucking notice these to begin with. And I was constantly doing this, like, why aren't getting the gold rings on this hand? What? Touch the picture to... I am. Where's my fucking gold rings? And then I realised that those gold rings aren't part of the skin, and it's those, if you can see those, that are part of the skin, which again, very cool. Didn't see this. All they have to do is put that from there to here, so that when the player's eye is being drawn to the right and they can fucking see it. Anyway, that's not my problem. That I don't care about. The skins look cool. Most of the skins look cool. My concern is some of these DLC skins have an effect on your character And picking up Fury Boost also slowly replenishes your health a little. That's not game changing, but somebody who is struggling with the game might find it a little bit easier because of that. You'd have to pay for the privilege. Quick reloading increases a weapon's max ammo up to a new rank. The effect lasts until you switch weapon. For someone like me, who is predominantly using a single weapon all the way through the level, and then only switching weapon to the better one at the end of the level for the boss, if I get my quick reloads off, that could be huge, because then I don't have to reload quite as often, which means I can kill faster. On certain weapons, that could be amazing. And it says up to a new max. It doesn't say that it stops. So my point is, that's another DLC skin. There's leaderboards in this game, and that could, I don't know, I haven't played it enough, that could be an advantage. It could be a disadvantage. I don't know. But the fact that it isn't all... I doubt if you put the skins on that it affects whether you finish in the leaderboard or not. That's not how you sell things. And so we may have a bit of a pay to win here. I mean, you're going to have to be pretty fucking good at the game to make that work. But I would have said someone who is good at the game that has this and someone equal that doesn't, well, buying this gives them the advantage. Yeah. Don't like that. These ones, though, they're just the same. At 16 Fury, regular attacks build ultimate faster. Attacks build ultimate faster. Attacks build ultimate faster. Attacks build ultimate faster, like the original skin. Why pairing additional features? Because the thing is, for me anyway, even if these things don't make a difference, you will have people out there going, yeah, well, the only reason why it's at the top of the leaderboard is because... Can you imagine if the bow that I got in IDU for having played the game longer than most people, at least on a competitive nature, gave me plus X damage, or plus more score, or just plus more ammo, or anything, and then you guys wouldn't even be able to have access if you wanted, and then you were able to buy it? Well, that's not right, is it? This weapon also worries me as well. I've been assured, I think our own Amy played with that, and I trust her opinion on these things. Amy Itsu, I'm sure she doesn't mind me doxing her, and I saw her playing with that, and I trust her opinion on bow stuff, and she said it's not well implemented, it feels fucking shit, basically. She was a lot Amier than I was. And then I saw her playing with this, and she was able to get a very good score, even though it was her first run, and she didn't understand how any of it played, which says to me that maybe an easy one. Again, I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone, but the things that you have to buy could potentially give you an advantage in a game with leaderboards. That's not on. That is definitely not on. Either there needs to be separate leaderboards for those, or they come with the game. And I still think for the $24.99 we should have been given this. And I did have a look into the pre-order bonuses, and it's not that. So, but again, I'm going to see about buying those and seeing. I haven't paid anything for the game, so I'll either approach the devs and try and get the DLC for nothing, or I'll buy it so that I can show it off in maybe another stream, because I do enjoy not having to use my voice as much. If you believe that, you believe anything. Hello, boys, welcome back. So yeah, I'm a bit torn on this one, as you can probably tell. There's some very cool features in it and very good stuff, but there's a lot of little things, and then the price as well, which... And I'll tell you one of the reasons why I'm rallying against a price for a game just in VR that I don't have to buy if I don't want to, that has this little content. And the reason being is because, well, this is the same price as a PC game. Now, PC games and console games, you'd expect to pay 40 to 60 quid for a proper game. This game is £25 on PC. as I see it, as the ecosystem has evolved, VR games are always cheaper, and that does help everybody's wallets that's trying to get into VR, which I think is the play. Coming out with something like this that's expensive, part of the reason why I rally against it is because I don't want to see prices start going up and up and up till we're paying 60 quid or 40 or 60 quid for something like this. And I just... It's going to happen eventually, because we're already seeing it with something like Hitman VR. I don't want the practices of fucking PC and console coming into VR, and it is gaming, so it is going to happen. It already is happening, unfortunately. I don't know, I just rally against it wherever I see it. And then there's also the other thing as well, and I do want to give praise to games where they are, because I want games to do well and I want them to be good. And this one just, I'm not going to say, I mean, I could say it's a glorified tech demo for the amount of content in, but it's a bit more than that. But there's just a little, no, you're fine, mate. It's a little lacking in content for the price. If this had come out at the same price of Hellsweeper, I still would have said Hellsweeper was the better purchase at like that. I think Hellsweeper's at like $14.99, maybe $18.99 or something along those lines. If it had come out at that sort of region, you probably wouldn't be hearing that from me. If it had come out at 25 and all of this was included, then you probably wouldn't be hearing that from me, because that, well, they've got that 8 quid. The other thing as well, remember, is this game isn't brand new, and it has been developed specifically for VR, but it's not brand new. This is a 2-year-old game. I don't pay full price for a 2-year-old game, but it's been converted to VR. Well, I didn't ask them for that, but if they're going to put it on there, so they're packaging something. I've always thought that you should never pay full price for an old game, for a game that has been released. Now, the argument is, this has been put onto VR, though. It's been ported to VR. It hasn't been made for VR. And yeah, I think the other thing as well that annoys me is that we haven't even got everything that the PC version has got. If we had got everything that the PC version has got, fuck the DLC, I think this would have then been worth in that $24.99, $30 region. But we haven't got it. Will we get it later down the line? Well, yeah, probably. Will they increase the price? I don't know, actually. They might. Hiring all these musical talent is obviously fucking expensive, isn't it? There is that element as well. I might not get invited back to free keys from this company, but just trying to be as honest as possible. As said, you know, I think a lot of games are off the mark when it comes to the amount of money you are charged, and maybe the fact that I wait for discounts and such. It's little things like I look at the amount of content that Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu has, and when that came to Quest, I think that was $14.99 or $18.99. It's got so much, and that's a single developer, and DTC as well. That is lacking on the content, but the dev knows it and put the price at something that is reasonable. And, you know, that one is also still in early access, so it hasn't got half of anything, but it's still a very good game and is reasonably well priced. Hellsweeper, for the amount of content that it had when it first came out, was probably alright. The amount of content that it's got now is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like $14.99 usually, or maybe $18.99, can't remember. The weapons that are missing DLC-wise, one of them is a bow, Vega, and the other one is like what looks like a multi-barreled cannon or a multi-barreled gun. And that one I worry about because it looks like it is a really good gun for scoring and DLC. And the bow, I've seen a reasonably well-known IDU player trying to play with it because she obviously got the DLC or got it with it or bought it or what have you, and she didn't like it. And if she doesn't like it, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like it either. So, bone mechanics, it fucking turns out they're really hard to get right. I know I have probably been spoiled with the likes of IDU, and I'll include Dungeons of Eternity and Compound. The bone mechanics in those games are really, really, really good. Hopefully I haven't missed anything. The bone mechanics in Hellsweeper are pretty good as well. They're a little bit off, but once you get used to them, they're usable.
I was not looking forward to meeting any of Heaven's reps. Unknown didn't seem worried, though. Me? Yeah. Crazy the judge would call on Heaven, right? 1,000 hells to Marshall, and she turns to the did its sanctimonious heavenly event.
Angel!
Demons and angels on the same side. It was awkward. Unknown leaves the angels and demons dead behind her. no love lost between the angels and us, no sir. I did get the sense they were even more depressed being here than us.
Stupid alarm. Scabbo, let's go here. Shazam says no. Oh, the song. Oh, I'll point at it when we're finished. Remind me. Friendly fire.
Yeah, Judge was desperate, all right.
Axe pistols, so I can do well. I haven't played a lot with the crossbow. It does seem very good though. But I have more control with the shotgun. Crossbow is really good for multis. Change. No. Fuck. Get out of the lobby, you fuck. Easy. I'm going to definitely have to start putting the difficulty up. Yeah, sorry if this whole volume off and volume on is a bit disjointed, and apologies for those of you that I am worrying that you might have think I've maybe died whilst playing the game because I'm not saying anything. See, I can do it, everybody. Right, so hang on, which one was that one we just played? It was Gehenna, I think. So that one is to be fair, a lot of them are two feathers and then featuring various vocalists and lead guitarists, and that's why they can do that layering thing, because they just get the vocalists in for the vocal bits and strangely and just get the guitarists in for the guitarist bit and then layer it up as it plays. But yeah, two feathers featuring James Doughton of Black Crown Initiate. There we go. Poetry of Cinder. Yeah, I know. So again, we are getting to the point here where I'm only 2 hours in. Now, I know I haven't done any of the challenges, and I know we've just been playing it in Goatfish mode, but I've almost done everything. Now, there are reasons to go back, and there are leaderboards. The thing is, as I've said, you want to complete everything. You then want to try the challenges and try and get the various sigils that you can get up to level 3 once you've completed the game, before you either A, even start looking at doing leaderboards, and B, before you even start looking at the higher difficulties. Yeah, I know, right? Again, it's very cool. It's a great, like, that's been paid attention to. A feature that has no bearing on the game. I do try and do that when I do the shoves into enemies. Do note as well, it is literally just a button press. Something that I don't like though is when you press, I mean, it was in Dead Hook and it kind of worked with Dead Hook because thank you, Von, you felt like you were pulling yourself into them and just smashing them with your body. As far as this game is concerned, what those charges are supposed to be is executions, so you running into them and then, like, you know, doing, like, slicing their legs out, or doing this, doing that, or doing the other. Like, what I would have done in it personally is, this demon lady has legs, right? And they could have made it that when you press the A button, it flies forward. In the actual flat screen version, there's like a little wing flap here because she is winged as well, and they could have had it where your legs lift up and kick, and then they could have completely got rid of the fact that the sword appears in your hand. With Dead Hook, it's fine. They know what they're doing. You're just grabbing them with chains and pulling yourself into them and smashing through them. In this, they're trying to recreate effect on flat screen that works on flat screen. And like me ramming into them with the sword like this, well, that's not very effective. And I can't even do it myself. So, but there you go. Well, no, but the thing is, Poise, with the actual game, when they do it, you see the character actually do something. They'll do like a chop or a skewer or a slice or something along those lines. We're not even asked to do it. Not that it was work. I was thinking like, oh, maybe they could give us like a little slow time section to do the chop, a la Until You Fall, and give us the line to chop by, but then that would be another layer of difficulty to add into what is already quite a difficult game when it comes to trying to do all the things that you're trying to do and match it up to the beat as well. So I suppose these aren't too far off of actual attempts because, again, as I said, there's no point trying to compete on here until you've got at least level 3 of 2 of these that you think will help, because obviously that helps score massively and that helps score massively. So, yeah, but there's also... my fear is as well that, again, this is going to be a game that people play quite a lot of for a couple of weeks, and then it'll be another one of those that just dies into obscurity if it even gets going. I hope it does, but the problem with this game as a concept is it is like a niche within a niche within a niche within a niche. So we're already in the niche of VR. And then within that niche of VR, you're going into the niche of rhythm games. And then if mate, I'm not putting the effort in to learn the scoring system on this one. I mean, I might do. A couple of things that I can tell you. It's worthwhile trying to get finished quickly, because you get about 500,000 points for doing that. And don't get hit. You know, that doesn't give you that much. Maybe, but I'm just little old me, boys. The thing is, any idea that I've always been a firm believer of, any idea that I can come up with, there's people that are in positions to do something about it, and they've already come up with those ideas. And if they haven't implemented them, there's two reasons. Misdirection. Not misdirection. That's like sleight of hand. Misunderstanding of the way of what it could do, or they didn't think it was a good idea. Well, it's to do with that silver tongue poise is the problem. Too salesman-y for my own. Hey, I mean, the thing is, I have those sort of things, like, you know, one of the things that a lot of people will be like is like, oh, well, all right, well, if you've got a problem with the game, come up with solutions. No, mate, that's not my job. I'm just a fucking simple video DJ, all right? I make the videos. I don't come up with the solutions. If you want to pay me to come up with the solutions, then I'll tell you the answers. I think I have some of them, but again, not all of them. Again, to reiterate, the game does very well what it is trying to do. It is held back, in my opinion, by price and a lack of content, basically. Like, there are, as I said, there are reasons to visit all the levels because you get skins, and this is, by the looks of things, one of the few games where the skins are actually going to look fucking much cooler than the originals. All the original stuff does look pretty cool as well. I mean, look at those bad boys. Who makes boomerangs like that anymore? And you throw these, but as I said, because you're not holding grip to hold and release, you're using trigger, it just feels fucking wrong. I can do it. I've had to do it to get these. Let me show you what one of the challenges looks like. They're interesting, but once you've completed them, you've got no reason to go back to them. So let me have weapon trickery. Let's try and do one that I should be able to do. Killing with rhythm. Some of these are like really obnoxious as well, but again, I kind of like that. Yeah, I mean, the difference is the guys that have made Iron Rebellion are a smaller company, so they're going to be after stuff, whereas I think the guys that have done this one, they're not a small company, and it may even just be a port. So yeah, as I said, I just want to put all of my negative critique out there, because, and positive as well, because obviously, you know, I don't take down the videos that I do, and I'd like to be as honest as possible. One thing for me is, and this has been through, this is something that I used to do in sales that I've taken through into games, is I would never want somebody to make a purchase misinformed. It's possibly part of the reason why I talk a lot, because I like to make sure that somebody has all the information before they make their choice. And the reason being is because I would never want to missell anything. I never, I think, have missold anything. I have been given wrong information by creditable sources and regurgitated that, but there you go. I enjoy it. I like it, warts and all. I just think that, I don't know if this is an older person thing or not. I can forgive a lot of mistakes based on price, because at the end of the day, the amount of money that I spend on a thing gives me expectations. If I'm spending $24.99, so that's more than Dungeons of Eternity, more than Hellsweeper, more than more than a lot of games, more than Pistol Whip, more than Beat Saber, more than IDU, more than Compound, more than Shogun's Empire, more than, you get the idea, more than a lot of games. A little less than Asgard's Wrath by what? What's Asgard's Wrath? A $5, like 30 quid? Or is it 40? I can't remember. And most of us got that for nothing as well. I mean, you know, I don't value that one as nothing. It was a freebie. Asgard's Wrath's production values and all the little things that they've got right in VR are fucking phenomenal. And $24.99, that sort of price, I expect the same. I expect a decent level of content, and I expect a decent VR title. I don't know, man, maybe my expectations are too high, but my expectations have been set by the ecosystem that we are in at the moment. The amount of money that I spend and the amount of content that I expect. IDU have spoiled me a lot in that I got 3 years out of that game for like what, 15, 18 quid. So yeah, but Hellsweeper is the one that ruins me for this. Similar sort of theme and concept and similar sort of thing as well. I'd say whilst you're waiting for the price of this one to come back, go pick yourself a couple of Hellsweeper up. It's old game now and it's fairly cheap. Stick on your favourite heavy metal soundtrack and play that. Revelation. Even that system is a little bit... It doesn't actually tell you that you need to keep the skull and the sword in your inventory at all times. So there's two choices just fucking gone. I don't quite know why you have to have them and you can't have the other weapons. But yeah, so we only get to choose out of 2 weapons that we take in. The other 2 are chosen for you. But yeah, I do try to be as honest as possible. I think the only game that I haven't really been full-on criticism of, and it was because I was kind of enjoying myself at the time, was that fucking superhero one. Someone will know what it's called. Can't remember. Oh yeah, no, I've almost... I've almost got the katana up to top level, but again, it's another... The only problem I have with it is it's another hand-to-hand combat weapon, and I don't know, man, the gunplay and the magic in that is too well done and too tight-knit. Melee does suffer. You can do it, but it feels like Project Demigod. Thank you. It feels like a lot of fucking work to get hand-to-hand combat to work right. Although Hellsweeper, I don't know, after playing this and the sword on this, I'm gonna have to have a new look at Hellsweeper and like think, oh well, they haven't got it too bad then, have they?
Have mercy. We were in for it here. Thing is, we really didn't know what we were up against immediately.
Save that for him.
Where was Disillusion anyway? Something coming apart, maybe. expected her to make it so far. Except for me.
Good, good. Get that next generation train poise.
sink now. Laws of hell. Whatever the judge had done, they were getting twisted.
You destroyed for nothing, then. No, not if I stand against you. We shall be lost into time and space together.
It is good. As you might be able to tell by the fact that I'm quiet and head bopping. It should be all you need to know. So yeah, not bad. Yeah, that one you can take a lot of damage. I mean, you can take a lot of damage on any level very quickly. That boss is the first one where he starts doing copies, and I think there's a way to tell, but I just usually shoot everything because you don't get punished for missing, which is something that I do appreciate on this. That's why I've turned the reticule off, because I figured I don't need them. The bullets are pretty. I don't think there's like an auto aim on this, but the bullets are pretty big, and like the shotgun has a huge spread, and you want to be quite close to your opponents because you can do damage. You'll see me doing it when I do the dash, and I do love dashing in this game, and dashing means getting close. You can actually do 1, 2, 3 up into the air if you time them, and if you time them to the beat and you're on the ground, you can dash infinitely, and you do get iframes for those of you who are aware of the Dark Souls thing. I mean, it's been in games before Dark Souls. Invincibility. Let's have a... Yes. Yeah, ideally, I don't want to be taking damage, and you want to be keeping your combo high. Another reason to make sure you've played through this game before you even start looking at the leaderboards is, I do like soaring as well, which is where you use dash and jump. You jump and dash almost at the same time, and that allows you to soar. And I like that mechanic in this. That reminded me of the secret technique from Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu until he took it out. Really annoying. Works. It's that. Instead of jump or dash, you dash jump. Oh, it's quite... Yeah, there you go. You get the dash and the jump off. And, yeah... But yeah, you want to make sure you do all of the levels as well. I think it's from about 1, 2... I think it might be Gehenna or Incastus? Yeah, Incastus. The fact that these look like album covers, I mean, obviously they're supposed to. It's very cool. But you want to go through them as well, because there are... I can't show them off. I don't think there are any. But there are boons that you get that get added to you as you score well. And you'll do better with those boons on. More damage. Your rage goes up quicker. I don't think it's called rage. And there's a few other bits and pieces as well. And the more of those boons that you have on by maintaining that 16 times and having a big combo, the better. Is obviously going to help you. We're getting to the point. Which one did we just do? Was it that one? I can't remember. It'll tell us in a minute, won't it? Have a look at that. These buttons as well. I appreciate the fact that you can press a button to do the things, but why does my hand go through the button? It just... Why is that? Like, I'm all for, like, you know, doing it myself and, like, giving the game a little bit of a leg up when, yeah, the sword play, you can do this and kill the enemy, but as long as there's decent connection, I feel like I'm fighting, then happy days. Well, not happy days. The system should be better, usually. But, like, I shouldn't be able to put my hands through solid objects, and all of a sudden it's like... What am I? Am I a fucking demon or am I a fucking ghost? What is this? So again, they're minor things. These are the bits and pieces that I'm talking about, where no developer that puts them in is going to get any sort of praise for doing it, but putting them in is like out of immersion now. I don't feel like a demon in my cool sanctum now. I feel like a VR. I feel like a fat middle-aged guy in a fucking VR headset now. I can put my head... Well, I wouldn't say fat, but put my hand through this, but you get the idea. It's all of those little things. Games that do it well, like Into the Radius is a really good one for that. That, you know, if you see it more often than not, you can fiddle and fondle with it and pick it up and interact with it, and you actually have to interact with it properly. I'm trying to think of some others that are good. Walking Dead is another really good one for that. I think Asgard's Wrath has got an element of this, but again, note how the games that I'm going through here, they've got all of these things that they don't get praised for, but if they weren't there, we'd be like, oh, that's fucking lame, isn't it? No collision detection. But these games are also some of the top rated and some of the best that we have. Oh, well, I don't know, mate. I think I don't know if anyone else suffers from this. If you are, like, I'm starting to go a bit thin on top. It's because of VR poison. Let's say that, you know, we suffer for our love. But, you know, there is a possibility. My missus is a hairdresser, and she's reliably informed me that hats are not a good thing for hair. So, and I'm wearing a hat, basically, a lot. So, chat, we're running out of levels, mate. Which one did we just do? It was that one. So we've got this one, and then we've got the M boss, and then I'm out of stuff. So, oh, we were. I didn't actually. What? Killing. Rhythm. Like, I'm the same as you, actually, K2. This has taken me quite some time to appreciate, but even then, there's been quite a lot of negatives along the way. When I spoke to you initially, I was like, I'm slating this game. I'm not having it. All I can say now, it is good, but it is lacking in some areas. It's reasonably well put together, but is shocking in some regard. And yeah, content. If you're into metal and you're into rhythm games and you are into shooters, then this is probably worth it for you. Here's like maybe something that I would put it on. I like metal, I like rhythm games, I like shooters, and I like things that have a bit of a skill gap, you know, that you have to be able to play the game well to do well. And leaderboards, I don't think this is a very good workout unless pulling your fingers on triggers works you out. Hellsweepers, again, I do quite a bit in VR, so I don't find them that. And I'm into all of those things as well, K2, but here's the thing. Would I have spent $24.99 on purchasing this? Nope. It would have had my interest and I would have wanted to play it, but I would have waited for a sale before I pick this up. I mean, the thing is, I would do that with most games, to be fair. Let's do one of these challenges and I'll show you how they're they do force you to use things that you may or may not use. So the twist here is that we have to hit hits on the beat deal additional damage, and we only have the skull and the shotgun, and it's a time pressure thing, and we need to kill 40 enemies on the beat. Thankfully, we've got trusted shotgun. Oh, that's why I didn't turn the music back up. I can't. Oh, we're gonna fail here. Damn!
Start.
Should have used Paz. But so, some of the challenges, that one was actually pretty easy. So, again, this is, I mean, the reason why I put the volume down, because the volume's really low, so obviously I do need the music. I'm not just paying attention to the fucking metronome thing going on. So, but a lot of the challenges are easy-ish. Some of them are particularly frustrating. I think you can change the difficulty on the challenges, but there's no need to, because there's no leaderboards or no additional rewards for completing them that way. In addition, once you have 3-skulled them and completed them, you never need to touch them again. Now, even jumping around in a reasonably large arena and maybe areas to switch to, or a large arena a la Hellsweeper, and then areas that like maybe open up as progress is made and that little roguelike thing, that would have been great. That's in the full game on PC. I don't know about the opening up, but there's definitely arena and build your character as you go, roguelikey sort of thing, so you can push it in directions and such. And I'd imagine there's a risk-reward element, and we haven't got any of that, and why not? You'd have had no complaints from me price-wise if we had the latest version and both of those. I think that would have been well worth it. So, cheers, boys. What else do I need to cover? There are a couple of things, the old tips and tricks wise. One of the things that I'm still trying to get into the habits of, but this is another reason why you need to start thinking about which weapon you're going to stick to and which one you're effective with. And so all of a sudden you've got all of this variety of weaponry, which is not all, it's actually quite short. And you only end up using one, maybe two, because the switching process is a pain in the arse. And as I understand it, there isn't any reason to switch other than that you can save up your ultimates, which if you're using the weapon a lot and using it well, you can just keep popping your ultimates off anyway, and you don't need them. One of the things that you can do is, when you are ready to reload by either an activated reload or because your weapon is out of ammunition and an auto reload that you have to time, if you can time an execution with that, it does a perfect reload for you anyway, and so you get the reload done and the execution done. That's quite difficult to do, because a lot of the time when you're firing off your last shell, you haven't got something to execute, so that one's a little bit of a rarer one. As I play the game more, I'll create those situations, but at the moment it feels quite an awkward mechanic. It's nice to see it in there though. Also, the dash cooldown is actually every couple of seconds, but you'll see when I've been playing, as long as you do your dashing to the beat, you actually can keep dashing continuously. You can do 3 air dashes as well. Dashing is based on where you look. Oh, you can time it here. Hang on, try and 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's see. But you can only do 3. 1, 2, oh, 1. Really hard when you don't have the volume up. But yeah, that was the reason why I turned the volume down, is A, so I could hear myself, B, so I could hear you lot a little bit better and so that I could be heard, and C as well, if the volume's up, I feel like I can concentrate. If I'm trying to... I'm not familiar enough with this game yet where I can just fucking do the autopilot talky shit. But I may never be, because music in a rhythm game is pretty important. One of the other things that is very cool about this game, though, we've got art book, we've got a compendium with all the how-tos, we've got a bestiary, and we've got the credits. Don't need to worry about the credits too much. The compendium is really good. One of the things that I do think the game is lacking as well is like a little arena to train with the various weapons and for them to tell you all of the nuances. I only found out the other day that you can go blam, blam, blam with the crossbow. Previously I was fire, beat, and then I realised that it lets you fire on every beat, which is one of the things that makes that very powerful. There's other little things like that within the game that I haven't seen mentioned anywhere. And another thing that is very cool, And these are all the things that I want to draw your attention to, because they're the sort of shit that even I'm like, I fucking love that in games that, you know, it require a little skill and a little finesse and a little expression. Is there are actual combos. Now, for those of you, well, maybe not even paying attention. Oh, I like that one. Triple dash. Dash, dash, dash. Gain, fury gain. So you see me doing that dash, dash, dash. Every time I do it to the beat, I get rewarded with a little bit of fury, which keeps my meter up. 2 seconds. Hello, Headbite. Welcome to the stream. The gunplay is very satisfying once you get it down to the beat. The sound effects on the enemies when they take the thunks and the hits are good. When they fall to pieces after an execution or after a headshot, I think that is an absolutely glorious effect. It looks so good when they like disintegrate into little cubes. Much better than enemy, you know, bodies just disappearing or floating off or something along those lines. Really good effect. Double slaughter, a slaughter, which is the execution thing, followed by another one. And not only do they gain you fury, but they also gain you score. And I've unlocked a couple that I didn't realize I had. So one of them is to soar, jump, dash. Interesting. So that means I need to go jump and dash at the same time, then jump, then dash, and that is known as Devil's Flight. You've got the Styx reload, which is quickly reload and then destroy a Styx crystal. That's worthwhile knowing, because I could do that all the time, and that'll give me a little bit of extra score. Death from above is soar and slaughter. That one I know about. There's a couple that I don't know about, but we'll find those out as we play. Like, one of the ones that I try to do as often as I can if the things are about. I can't remember what it's called, though. No. Just in fact, I will go through these because people might be after what is what. So, dash, dash, dash. Slaughter, slaughter. And you don't know them until you've unlocked them either as well, which is, again, I know I always complain about hidden information in games. Better change the old battery. I know I always complain about hidden information in games, but there is that element of, you know, that's how the fucking channel got started, so won't complain too hard. How long are we going for now, actually? That's pretty good. My battery had run out. I thought I changed it, and then I did, and I didn't press the button. But again, we've gone for almost 3 hours whilst streaming on a single battery. It's pretty good. That means that this is at least well optimized on battery, so you'll be able to play it for a decent amount of time, which I always think is an important feature to mention. Sword, jump, dash. Yeah, cheers, Fawn. See you later, mate. Quick reload and then destroy one of the green crystals. Kill an enemy and then slaughter an enemy, which is Unholy Mess. Quick reload and then kill an enemy. Slaughter an enemy, kill an enemy. That's just the opposite to Unholy Mess, isn't it? Yeah, kill and slaughter. Slaughter and kill, yeah, fair enough. Death from above, soar, which is the dash, jump, and then slaughter. 5 endings, kill 5 enemies in a row. Shatter 2, destroy a destructible, which is why you see me sometimes enter a room and shoot the green crystals in beat succession, because I'm trying to get fury and, more importantly, score from that, so that's an important factor. There's 2 that I don't know about yet, or I'm down to 2, but I'm sure I'll come across them as I'm playing. I'll probably do them by accident. Triples, kill, kill, kill. Chaos and slaughter, destroy a chaos crystal, then slaughter the chaos crystals, the explosive ones. That one's actually quite hard to do. Basilisk, soar and then kill an enemy, and then double hit and run. This is the one that I try and do quite a lot. Just destroy a destructible, dash, dash, destroy a destructible. If you can get into the habit of doing that, you're gaining free fury and free score, so it just keeps everything up. But I like little things like that within a game. I don't necessarily know whether they should be hidden information from the player or not, because a player that knows this will beat somebody who doesn't, at least scoring and leaderboard wise. Maybe that's the point, I don't know. I always hate games that have hidden information, and then I try and expose it and get it out there as quickly as possible so everyone's on the same playing field. But, right, let's go back. I'm not going to go any further. We'll stay, because we've only got, like, time for another one or two. So, I'll do... Which one was... I think my favourite is, Helm. Or Helm. Something like that. And... Yeah. Yeah, that is part of the problem. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's one of them. They're not too complicated, and some of them will just occur naturally, but the ones that won't occur naturally you need to kind of add them to your game. Some of them are just Fury games, so you don't need them, but the ones that are score, you will need. But again, we're now talking about those fucking special kind of idiots like me who want to compete in leaderboards and various bits and bobs. I don't know. I don't know if I want to get involved in that. So, but the thing is, again, the one thing that I will say is these guys are definitely doing the right thing when it comes to leaderboard, as opposed to like Dungeons of Eternity, where the leaderboards are actually based on something that is based on how well you can play the game. That is the direction that all leaderboards should go in, because then you can find who's the best and try and beat them, or at least that's what I do. That's what I like to know. What I don't want to know is who's played the game for the longest, who's been on the leaderboard for the longest. One of the things that I never brag about, because I do not think it's worth bragging about, is for a very long time I was the #1 legend point holder in Death Unchained. Do you know the reason why I don't brag about that? Because I don't fucking rate it. Do you know the reason why I don't fucking rate it? Because all it's based on is I've been in the most tournaments and played the game more consistently than anybody else. For me, that was just a badge of, you've spent way too much time on this game, you fucking moron. So yeah, right, I'll leave you to stew on that. Bam. Think it's my fave. I think this one is definitely my favourite. I love anything that's got that heavy metal, heavy rock, whatever you want to classify it as. Well, it's not commercial, is it? Anything that's got that and then has... I mean, I like Cookie Monster-esque lyrics. I only come across that term today. I've never heard it called that. And... you sort of... I don't know if the woman in this one, I think it was Alicia or something along those lines. In fact, I better check it is this one. But that classically trained female vocalist. Yes, please. More of that. Thank you very much. Was it this one? I can't... Might even be the next one. I'll go and have a quick look. Loading times are a little long in this. We're not talking Vampire the Masquerade long, but... Oh, it's that one. It's that one. Yeah, this is the right one. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6 1000, 1000, 8 1000, 9 1000, 10 1000, 11 1000, 12 1000. I mean, it's not the 30 seconds to a minute that you... Well, no, it's not a minute. It's not the 30 seconds odd that you get in Vampire the Masquerade. But... I don't know, again, it depends on how impatient you are. I know there's some people that don't like doing the whole standing thing in VR, and if you're, you know, all that time in loading menus, you might not be a fan. Don't blame you. Where am I supposed to be looking?
Were waiting on us in Yelm, our next port of call, but at least at the start.
Up there.
Dead quiet.
Stupid system. This one. I try not to sing.
Distance. That's where she's headed. Only statues left standing in the cathedral. This is not quite a cathedral, more like a church fort.
Yeah, I do have a problem with some of the DLC, in that it doesn't even have, the tracks at least, don't have this progressive thing. I mean, the Disturbed track is still going to be great. Yeah, as I said, I don't think, like, this whole progression and building up through the 4, 8, and 16 times combos, I don't think a lot of the DLC songs have got that. I might be wrong, but it seems a bit lazy if you ask me. They could have easily done that with any of them, but they've just bought the tracks, or the right to use them. Pistols! Because shotgun will take forever. Love surfing that dash. I'm gonna end up tearing up my mat that I'm literally spinning on the balls of my heels as I'm doing that. It's great. Whew. Hey, not bad. But yeah, it's one of the things I was saying, so for anybody who's looking at this and thinking like, yeah, but there's extra weaponry and all I have to do is buy them, should we check that out and I'll have a look. When I first saw these, I was like, you shitting what? $3.99 for one gun? But I've looked into it and you do obviously get more than one gun. The Dream of the Beast pack is not just $3.99 for a gun. You pay, I think it's $3.99. It might be both of them, don't quote me on that, but you get a couple of the suits, a couple of the costumes, which, well, let's face it, all you're going to see is your hands and then in the cutscene, so maybe that's why they did it. But you get a gun, 3 tunes, and a couple of the what's it called over there, the ultimate costumes, and then this one is $4.99, and that's the same pack. So they've obviously looked at the meta market and gone like, what are they gonna fucking like? They're gonna like fucking bows, let's charge them more for the bow. To be fair, I'd go for that over the bow myself. I'm definitely a quad cannon kind of guy. The only thing that I will say, though, is that isn't the case with the bow, the DLCs. I jest. The DLCs were priced that way, so that'll be to do with licensing. And to give you an idea of what comes on the DLC, as I said, but I am by no means selling it. Like, no mistake. If we have a look at the DLC tracks... Oh, is it licensed DLC? No. DLC, Purgatory, like this. There we go. Do I have to? Okay, so Dream of the Beast, Dream, Purgatory. So we've got. So this one I think is progressive because it's one of the 2 feathers one. I think this one is as well. That one should be. That one... Heffy from Trivium. And then maybe that's the difference between these licensed... Let me press the fucking button, would you, man? There we go. I don't know... Why can't I just press it? And then Uprising by Muse... That's the Essential Hits pack, which is different again. Misery Business, Paramore, that is Gorillas, Feel Good Inc. That might work. Depeche Mode, Personal Jesus. Where's the one that is got? Ah, there it is. That's me. That I would buy the DLC for, probably alone, but. Yeah, should I? No, I'd do it because I've got a decent amount of credit. But again, I try not to. Yeah, you have to like kind of... Oh, what? And these are the... Oh, right, okay. So you can use any of these tracks as the boss track or the track in the actual game, or both if you wanted to. And... you can replace any of them. So we've got Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode. We've got I Love It featuring Charlie XCX from Iconopop. That's probably before my time by the sounds of things. Or after my time. Feel Good Inc. from Gorillaz. That's a good track. Whether it suits this or not, I don't know, but I get the impression you could probably make anything suit this. Runaway from... Glanitis, Tsunami, the original mix from DVBBS and Borgias. I haven't heard that myself. Misery Business from Paramore, Uprising from Muse, and well, it's Down with the Sickness from Disturbed. So Oh, what? You can listen to it? Oh, that's gonna get me fucking... Yeah, I better not try and listen to that. And, is that another one? I might have been wrong, you know. I know there's an essential hits pack, and I thought that came with everything. So, these ones are extras, and then the guns come with progressive tracks, I think. Additional progressive tracks, which is what you want. And then costumes as well on the DLC. Again, I mean, I don't know, it's licensing and music and, you know, every developer trying to nick a buck. So whether they are worth it, because it's only one extra gun, and if that one extra gun turns out to be craply implemented like some of the other ones, then that's a waste of money, and I think you would struggle to refund DLC. I don't know if it has the same things as the same connotations as normal games. Hello, Memester, how we doing? So, I mean, yeah, I like it. I think it's good. I think there is a nice game here that if you get good at it, you'll appreciate the skill gap, and there are leaderboards. I'm not trying to... What I'm trying to say, because it sounds very big-headed, because I do like these kind of games where there's a little skill and a little technique and a little expression involved, but the reason why I say it that way is if you're not the sort of person that does that and wants to put a lot of time in to get particularly good at something so that you can compete on the leaderboards and that sort of stuff, then this might not be the game for you. There's a lot of nuances, there's a lot of difficulty in that element of it. One thing that I would say is there is, ignore what I've just said, there is a, not that one, there is a mode in this, not that one. Fucking hell, all the options and none of the ones that I want. Not that one. Is it rhythm? I'll find it. It's not reticule, it can't be reticule. I thought it was on audio. No. Oh, here's your vignette options. Beat vignette. Damage, ultimate, health, soft, the strength of it, nice. So adjustable strength, always a good thing in vignettes to see, that is. So they've really gone to town with the vignette options. I'll try and hold that up so you can see that a bit better, save me having to read them out, but I know Vega's always interested in that, so there you go. To be fair, I'm always interested in that as well, because always a good thing. So for those of you who want to play the game, but I don't know, maybe you ain't got the time to get good at it, or you know, don't want to, or what have you, there is a rhythm assist mode, which basically means the music's pumping and you do what you fucking want. All actions you perform off-beat will count as being on-beat. Your score won't be on the leaderboards, but it doesn't matter. My argument for something like that would be only put that on if you're really struggling, because if you're not playing to the beat, you're kind of missing out on half of the game. And to round up, there is a decent amount of complexity within the game, but it is definitely lacking on the weapons department, the amount of tracks department, and the amount of stuff to do department. There's no, like, real progression. There's a few secrets to find. There's some really good tracks, but this is the sort of game where it's going to become a little bit of a one and done once you've played it, and then maybe occasionally you'll go back. Part and parcel of all of this, my problem, as I said from the start, is that at $24.99 we haven't got the latest version of Hellsinger, which actually addresses a lot of the problems that I have with this one. We don't even get included the DLC. We have to buy that for additional $8.49, $3 something, and £5. So that's like almost the price of the game again to get one extra gun on it, or two extra guns, one of which I've been told doesn't work particularly well in VR, and some progressive tracks, and then a host of tracks that are not progressive, so they don't even tie in with the coolest feature about the game, that getting your score, that's the word I'm looking for, your score multiplier up to, you know, get the fucking beat going so that you're like being pushed more into that feel of the game. It doesn't have that, I don't think. Can't tell, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I like it, I like playing it, but I am that special kind of idiot that'll want to master something, and as I said, I put a lot of hours into this to make sure that I had the correct information. I don't want to be going, yeah, it's alright and everything, but you know, if I couldn't put a bit of a performance in and put some leaderboard places in, not that they mean anything really, I just wanted to make sure that I could play this to a competent level. I was just going to do the tutorial and then just show it off, but I figured I needed to play it to see where the rabbit hole goes, and it's not as deep as I wanted it to be. The rabbit hole is not as deep as I wanted it to be. And on that bombshell, we shall indeed end it there. This has been the good Metal Hellsinger VR, running natively on the Quest 3. I have been Silver Tongue Devil. Good night.